You are welcome. Wow, wow, wow. Can you see what I am seeing? There is a massive dump happening. Oh my gosh. Anyways, let me go straight into what I have today so that I don't waste too much time. All right, today, what do we have? We will be talking about indicators. Yes, we'll be talking about technical indicators. So let me just, I'm just going to show you, technical indicators. Let me use BTC. No, let me use Ethereum. Let me use Ethereum at least to demonstrate this. I'm always using BTC. I don't know why. I think I'm just, a fan of BTC. Anyways, guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'll be saying thank you and welcome as you come. All right, today we're going to be looking at technical indicators. Yes, and how to use them in charting, and also how do we get to know what they have to offer and things like that. Wow, can you see what this is? Anyways, let me start by explaining that a technical indicator is actually a pattern-based signal. Yeah, that's just what it is. It just tells us what's going on in terms of the price movement, the volume of the digital assets, what's going on in the marketplace. So when you see this when you see these patterns, right? There are many of them, right? And I'm going to pick them. We're just going to talk about three because of our time. I wouldn't want the live stream to be too long. So I'm just going to talk about three of them, right? And what you should look out for when you're trying to trade and how they help you to know what's going on in the market. Because when you know what's going on in the market, then you'll be able to make very wise decisions about what should happen next. Thank you, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I can see you. Thank you so much for joining. Anyways, let's go straight into business. Like I said, a technical indicator, right, is a pattern-based signal that just tells you different things about what's going on in the market based on the volume, the price of the digital assets, right? So we're going to look at some of them. Now, when you look at the base of our trading floor here in the charts, you will see that there are quite a number of these, what's it called, technical indicators. So I'm going to just take three of them. I'm going to talk about Bollinger Bands. I'm going to talk about, relative strength index. And I'm also going to talk about one of my top favorites, which is the Parabolic SAR. All right. So now I'm going to start with the Bollinger Band. And as you can see here, let me just put that off so you can see. This is the Parabolic SAR, and this is the relative strength index. Let me show you what it looks like. This is the relative strength index at the base. So I'm just going to take them one after the other and show you. Now look at this. Now what is the Bollinger Bands? You can see that the Bollinger Bands are kind of like enveloped. They're like envelopes of bands that are like envelopes, right? And it's made up of two parts or three parts. We have the upper band, we have the lower band, and then we have the moving average in between it, right? And, this envelopes just try to explain to us, right? You can say what I call it, the price changes, the direction of the price. It's like it's not an oscillator, but it's actually a trend detector. Yeah, and let me bite my mouth. Trend detector, kind of. Yeah, so it just shows us the trend of what's going on in the market. So if we take a good look at this, you will see that here there are different, when you see the different shapes of this particular band, I'm going to explain to you what they mean, right? So at some point you will see that the bands widen up, and you can see that at some point the bands tighten up. So what do these things mean? Like I said, it's more of like a trend indicator. It helps to tell you, the price movements, what is going to happen next. And I must let you know that most of these indicators are kind of lag indicators, right? So most of these things have happened, right? But they still show you, because like if you take a look at this particular Bollinger Bands, it shows you directly on the chart. So you can actually visualize what is going on with what is happening. Now let's take a good look at this. Look at this upper band here. Look at the part that looks, loose. Can you see this yellow upper band? This yellow upper band is showing that the price has already moved. Now, can you see that there's a time when, the bands tighten up, and there's a time when the bands loosen up, right? Look at that. But you see, in the middle, we have the MA. Now, that MA is the moving average, which has period of 20. So just in case you want to set this up, I think Binance gives you the what's it called now, the standard one, right? So there's really no place where you can actually set that up here, or probably in the settings. But here, it just gives you the standard one, the regular one, the basic settings here. So the MA, which is the moving average, the one in the middle is actually with period 20, and the standard deviation is 2. Just in case you want to set this up maybe on maybe MT5 or some other trading platforms. So you can use, you know, the MA is a simple MA, the simple moving average, which is with period of 20, and the standard deviation, right, for the Bollinger Bands is 2. So just in case you want to set that up, okay? So now look at this. I'm going to show you some practical understanding of this. Now look at this point here where the price tightens up, where the bands tighten up. It shows that there's going to be a sharp difference in the price. Now look at this. Can you see this? Look at this point. Let me enlarge it for you. You see this place here? It shows that at this point where you see that it tightens up, especially when, you know, the price hits the lower band. Can you see that? It just shoots up high. That's it. That's what happens, right? When you see a situation where there's a tightening up of the bands, or like you can say a hugging of the bands, you can see here that in this middle point here, the yellow band, which is the upper band, and the purple band, right, are closing into the center. And we now have, you know, the moving average right in the middle. Now, you will notice that there was a touch point, okay? If you look at these candles here, there was a touch point of, you know, the candles moving down, and it actually touched this point of the purple portion of the lower band. And that point, it will signal, right, a different direction of the price, as you can see here. So let's take a look at this kind of situation. It happens either way. Okay, once it touches the lower band here and it hugs it, it will quickly show like a different change in direction, as you can see here. And when it hits the upper band here, as you can see here, hit the upper band and even exceeded it, it quickly showed what a different change in price. And that's why there was a dump here. And that's what keeps on happening. You will keep on seeing that. Once you notice, let me go to the end of it so that we'll see what is going on here. When it touches it, like now, look at here now. You can see that, and it is hugging it. Now it's signaling already a change in direction. And you can see that from the bottom here. You can see that the price has started moving up. That is what will happen. Once it hugs it and it touches it, it's going to signal a different price change. That's what it does. It's just showing us the extent to which price is moving. And of course, when it breaks down and it goes all the way down and it doesn't turn back, that means it is showing a continuous downtrend. Okay, I know it's a bit technical, right? But just on this, if all you can understand using the Bollinger Bands, right, is just that, okay, when it touches the upper band, when the price touches the upper band and it hugs it means that it stays a while, right, on the upper band. You can see here, this is I think this is a 1 hour. Yeah, this is a 1 hour chart. When it stays and it goes for a couple of hours, it will signal what a next change in direction. All right. Now, and then you can see here that it didn't really touch this green line. Can you see what's going here? Can you see that it didn't really touch this lower band here? As it hugged it, it came down and it kept on moving sideways. Once it doesn't touch that, the lower band and goes below it, it will keep on staying within the, and they just give us like a sideways movement until it gets to a point when it now keeps on going down. Look at this. This is what I'm saying. Can you see here that it kept on going down? It hit that top. It had a pullback. It went up again, and it now hit all the way down. Then when it got here, it kept on having a pullback. It kept on coming down. That's what it will show you. Once it touches that lower band, you are sure that it's either that at that point, if it goes beyond it, it's actually going to continue in a downtrend. But if it goes back up and it touches, the other upper band, it will signal a change. So all you just have to do is keep on checking this. This is one of the least used, what's it called now? That I use. This is one of the lists that I use, really. But it's just for you to understand that all these things signal price changes. Okay, let me go to the second one that I want to share with us. Okay, so let me close that Bollinger Bands. You can always read more about this, right? And understand the price movement, because as you can see here, there really is a downturn, right? You can see here, there's a downward trend. If we go to, let me go and check what's going on in Bitcoin. Bitcoin affects a lot of coins, Oh my gosh, Bitcoin is 27,246. Oh my God. Can you just imagine that? It's really going, it's dumping. You can see what I'm talking about. You can see. So let's look at something here. Let's take a look at, the RSI. Where's the RSI? The RSI is somewhere here. I just saw it. Okay, good. So now what is the RSI? It's actually an oscillator, right? And it shows the speed of price. Okay, it tells us when the market is overbought or it's oversold. Okay, and at those points, because it's an oscillator, it's not really on the chart. That's why at times it can be a hassle trying to get it, but if you can get it on the chart, it makes sense. But it's always in its own section here, right? It's always in its own section here. As you can see here, look at this. Let me just explain further about the relative strength index. It shows the price and shows the speed of price. That is what it does. It shows the speed of price, the speed in the movement of the price now, and the strength also of that price in the market. Now look at this. I'm just going to click on, let me just enlarge this and then click on the tip here, because normally it oscillates between 0 to 100. All right, but now let me touch that up. If you see this top here, you will see that it's going to show us. Let me click on this place here. You can see if I click on this, it shows me at what percentage it really is. You can see this is at 54. So at this point now, it hasn't gotten to the top. Okay, when it gets to the oversold means that it's going all the way down. It gets to a point where it is at maybe 30 and below. And once it hits 30, it's at its oversold level. And when it hits 70, it's at its overbought level. At that point, you will see a change in the price movement. Okay, let's look for where we have. Okay, look at this place. Look at this place. Let me just increase that and show you based on, I just want to show you this based on the percentage. Okay, this is 84. Look at this now. Can you see that at this point here, it has gotten to the level of 84. And that's why if you look at the top, can you see what is happening here? Just, in, let me see, in consonance with this place. Let me click on it so that you can see what I'm saying. Just look at it here. Can you see that it actually went to the very top, the highest point here? And immediately at that point, the price changed. As you can see, just look at it. The price began to come down, okay? Because this was the point here. Can you see where it had, it came to 30,485? That is exactly the same point where we have, this very tip here. That's the same point. Look at it. And that point is at 90, right? It shows you when it got to the top at that point, there was a change in price. It came down a bit. There was a pullback, as you can see here. It pulled back, it went up again, and then it now started its downturn. Because sometimes when you have a sharp edge at that point there, it will pull back, it will come down, and it will retest, and then it will go back up, as you can see here. All right, it went up here, and then it actually started its actual downtrend from this point here. Can you see where it started the downtrend? From this point, and it kept on going all the way down. Now, if you take a good look at this point here, now let's look at the correlating factor here. Look at the correlating point. Can you see the correlating point? If I take this point here and I notch it up, I want to check what that percentage is. You can see it's at 15. It's at the oversold level. And at the point where it hit its lowest ebb here, at this point, there was a change. Look at this place. Can you see at this point here? It hit that lowest held ebb and it went up again. Now, that's what you should be looking out for when you are using the relative strength index. And that's what I just want you to just take note of, right? Because taking note of this helps you to know, okay, at what point is the price going to get to the overbought level or the oversold level? Those are the things you should be looking out for, right? Look out for those 2 points, because when it gets to the oversold level, which is this point here, as you can see, 29,096, it had a change and went back up. Can you see that? It started pumping, until the time when it hit what? 30,485. When it got to that point, you can see what I'm saying. I just want you to understand this. Correlate these two factors. Correlate these 2 points here. Can you see where this 29,096 is? Can you see that? This is the point. That's the lowest point it got to. And that is what? 27. And I told you once it gets to the oversold level at 30 and below, right? It signals almost an immediate shift to change in direction. Now, how does this help you in your trading, or maybe taking a spot trading or doing your triangular arbitrage? It tells you whether you should take on a trade or not. Because if, for instance, you were supposed to buy a particular coin and then sell to maybe Bitcoin, for instance, just like what happened in this case, let me go to Jasmine so that you can see what I'm talking about, right? I've done other trades after this one. I don't know why this Jasmine, after this particular Jasmine, I've done other trades. But this Jasmine has just decided to stay put. I just don't understand the reason why. Anyways, that is what happens, from time to time, right? So you can see here, let's look at Jasmine. Let's look at what's happened to Jasmine. Jasmine right now is dumping, right? Look at it. It's dumping massively, okay? Because look at it now. And at this point, let's see what this level is. Let's see this level. This level is definitely signaling to us that it's going to change. It's going to go back up very soon. Can you see? Because here it is. Look at this point here. Look at this point here. This place already signals to us, this point here, which is a correlation. Let me just click on that point there. That point is already signaling to me, I think that's 40. No, let me check. Let me check what that is. Let me see. Can you see? That was 64, almost close to, 70, right? Almost close to 70. But at that point, you can see it has been coming down all the way from here. This was its reversal point. Look at this is the main reversal point here. The main reversal point was at 0.0071. That was the main reversal point. It came down. It was struggling. It came down. It dumped. It went back up. And you can see at this point here, can you see where the lowest ebb of, the, see, 11.29. It really went down, and that's why it signaled a reversal. So if you have to sell, for instance, you want to sell maybe Jasmine USDT and you want to sell to BTC, and you are seeing that, it's likely that this is going to dump, it's better you just stay away from that triangular arbitrage. Yes, it's better you just stay away from that triangular arbitrage, because if for any reason, right? If for any reason, you get into that trade, you can get locked up, you can get tied down, and then you'll be waiting, just like I'm waiting. In fact, I waited for a while. It's actually sold, but because all the, what would we call it now? In all the marketplaces, right? Bitcoin had already fallen. Most of the coins had fallen. So even it affected Jasmine USDT. So even the price of Jasmine USDT right now, if I take a look at how much this is actually, it's actually has gone down really low. This was what the price we did as the sell limit. But as you can see here, it's not, can you see, it's even nowhere near. Can you see that? It's 0.005753. That is absurd. Okay, and now you just have to wait, because there's no other thing you can do. If you sell at this point, you're gonna waste money. You're going to lose money. So you have to be very careful at this kind of thing, right? So let's get back into what we are saying. So the other one that I want us to look at right now, finally, is the SAR, which is my favorite. Okay, I'm just going to put that one off so we can see it very clearly. So what is the SAR, which is the parabolic SAR? SAR just means stop and reversal, okay? So this shows us, this is a technical indicator that shows us the momentum in the market, right? Momentum just means movement, okay? It means the push that takes you up. That's what momentum actually just means, okay? So look at it, it either takes you up or pushes you down. So it shows us the change, when there's a movement, when it shows the momentum in the movement of the price change, and then it also shows when the price has changed, and that's why you can see these dots here. But can you see these dots here? Just help show us that, the price is going up, right? And when you see that, like I always tell people, if you want to take a trade, maybe like a spot trading trade or something like that, that is showing whether the price is pumping up or something, just at least take a look at, the parabolic SARs. The third one or the fourth one will show that the momentum is high at that point. So it will give you an idea of whether you should take that spot trading. I use the parabolic SAR to decide whether I should do a spot trading or not, because if for any reason I'm seeing it going up and then I now see one dot of parabolic SAR on the top, I won't take it, because at that point it's going to start dumping, as you can see here. Once you see the first or second dot here, it's going to start dumping. That's just it. So that's what helps you to know what you should do about your trades, whether it's triangular arbitrage, whether it is inter-exchange arbitrage also too, because If the price is dumping in the other side where you're going to go and use it to make money, maybe you want to go and sell to make profit, it's also going to be dumping there. So you have to be careful. These are just pointers to the fact of what can help you, right, make a decision in whether you should take that trade or not. I hope that is clear. So let me explain a little bit more about the parabolic SAR. So it talks about what the stop and reversal system, the stop and reversal system. So anytime you see the dots underneath here, it's suggesting that, oh, it's a momentum that is showing the price direction, upward price direction, okay? Anytime you see that it switches and it now begins to come down, it's showing you that there is a switch and change in the price, which means that the price is coming down. Yeah, that's what it means. Okay, so it means that there is a downward, trend, okay? And then at times, when you're not even sure, let me show you something that happens. Can you see this point here? Sometimes there's what we call a sideways movement. A sideways movement is an undecided movement. Let me look for one that looks sideways, so that you, at that point, you just stay out of the market because you don't know what is going on. Look at this place. Can you see it's undecided? At this point here, is it going up? Is it going down? We're not sure. At that point, it's struggling, okay? It's not yet decided on the direction it wants to go. I'm looking for one that's very, very clear. I'm not seeing one now. Maybe I should change it to 1 day. Maybe I'll see. I'm not seeing one here. Most of them are like in defined trends, okay? Except, okay, look at this place. I think this one can help us show. Can you see this sideways point at this point here? Yeah, at that point, the market was undecided, right? It was either going up and down, going up and down, going up and down. At that point, it's better if there's no direct, direction, or you don't see a very obvious direction, stay out of the market, because you could be there stuck, right? It can do you strong thing, so you don't want that kind of situation to happen to you, right? So that's much just let you know that these are the things you should take note of, right? The parabolic SARs helps you to know the direction of the market. And for me, it's my number one. That's why I love it, because it's very visual. It tells me once I see the dots appearing, 1, 2, 3, I take that trade and say, yeah, it's going to go up, because it's already signaling to me that there's going to be a pump, and I'm going to take it. And I always say that most times it works out. I'm not saying it's 100%, right? But most times it works out that way. Now, I hope you've learned something from this live. I just felt I should come up live to explain to you, technical analysis, how you do this, how you ensure that you stay out of trouble. Very important, because if you stay out of trouble, you won't have to maintain and remain in a trade for a while. Like I said, this Jasmine trade, I've done other trades after this, and they all worked out. But this Jasmine, man, it's just stuck in there. And I'm like wondering, well, at this point, it's just going to have to wait. That's just it. We'll wait for it till when it's ready to rise. When the tide is over, or the tide rises up again, then we'll pick it up from there. Thank you so much. I hope you've learned something. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate your time that you've spent here. Thank you so much. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.